Mr. Tabakit.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Tabakit.
And how you do today?
I am blessed.
All right, thank you. Look, normally, I stick to editorial. I want your permission just to shift a bit, please.
Okay, what is it exactly? What's it about?
Okay. I've been observing a particular rant by one of my own activists, I would say, on Facebook, and I am disturbed.
Oh yes, well, no,
Right.
I'm gonna come to that. I'm going to come to that, but
But can I touch a bit, please?
I will let you touch on it, but I just have to deal with something else first.
Okay, I wouldn't go too much, but I'll touch. Look, let me say this. I am totally dissatisfied. I'll tell you why. To the end of the day, regardless of what we do or say, Dr. Rowley is the Prime Minister. And even though I didn't vote for him or I may not be a PNM, that does not give me the right to go to social media and disrespect the head of the country. And I'm saying, I don't know, somebody needs to tell her, look, what she did is wrong. And and let me say, Reverend, I think because
You're breaking up. You're breaking up really, really badly. I don't know why, but you're breaking up real bad.
Getting me proper now, Pastor?
Let me see. Go ahead, talk. Let me see.
Yes, Pastor. So I am saying it cannot be accepted. To the end of the day, I am saying yes to politics, yes to our activists. But when you cross the line, I am saying here, I want to distance myself from that kind of behavior as an activist, and I'm saying it is uncalled for, and we must never accept it. If it is on the PNM side, UNC, regardless, I am saying here, as an activist, I will not accept such rude behavior to the head of our nation. I know you will come back with it, and then I'll be able to talk more on it. Thank you for giving me this leeway on that particular subject matter. Tabakit in the house.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Tabakit is talking about a situation that is all over social media. I think Sharon and Bruce and Dominic and they will have dealt with it this morning. All right, but it is a issue that people and my thing is that is that now it has been happening. It has been happening a while. All right, it has been happening a while now on Facebook and on YouTube, where these videos are being done. I'm seeing where the former candidate of Library is also in the fray. All right, the former candidate of Library. So while we are praying and while people are praying and asking God to bless this land and to heal this land and to do all these things, there are people who are bent on destroying this land. And once we acknowledge, and let me say this, there are people who believe that they have a special key to heaven. There are people who believe that they have a special, because I didn't want to get into it as yet, but I'll get into it. I wanted to deal with this before I get into that discussion with that young lady, because that young lady was in this building, That young lady sat down right opposite to me during the general election, and that young lady, I want to get into it, but I'll get into it after. I just want to put this in the mix, because we're talking about what Apostle Duncan would have said, and the prayers that went up yesterday on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago. And the devil is not happy about it. That's why people like that are acting up. People like that only act up when, demons only act up when they know that something is positive is going to come out of what it is going on and what God is going to do in this land. Let me just put that out there also. So who want to throw it away, they could take it. Who want to embrace it, could embrace it. But I want to say it one more time. You see what happened yesterday, and God would have sent his prophet with a word for the nation. The devil is upset about that. You see how I came today and I played it back, what God said to this nation? There are some spirits and some people who are upset about that. They don't want to hear Dr. Rowley is a man who God appointed and anointed for this nation. They want to hear that, otherwise. They want to hear something else. And that's the truth. Hello, good morning. Good afternoon.
Morning. Pastor Google, the last two prophets passed through the Caribbean is Eric Williams and Bob Marley. And nothing about this miracle and the say about certain people running this country, it got to be destruction.
All right. Yes, so I want to say that. I want to say that the devil is not happy with what happened yesterday. You think about it. Think about it. Put it in your life. Put it in your life perspective. When you start to pray and when you start to be focused, when you put your head down and start to be focused on your life, there are the enemy of your friends and sometimes your family, and sometimes they start to act up because they're realizing that you're starting to make sense and you're starting to put sense to what it is you're called to do and what you're doing. So they start to attack you. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, good afternoon. Pastor Google, are you there?
I just say good afternoon.
I'd like you to say it again. I'd like to hear a voice. Pastor Google, did you observe yesterday when people were preaching? Some people were wearing masks and some people were not wearing masks, Pastor Google? Did you observe that? Pastor Google, I would leave it here.
Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, good afternoon. I just joined in because I was doing something else, but I pick up on something. With the prayers yesterday and what I heard went on with other people. When I was a child, before 15, there was a young girl in the village who they said was spiritually, damaged. And people will go to pray and think for the family and all of that. But whenever they go to pray, that child will put her finger to her ears and crying, oh God, don't want to hear. And then one day, they said, she just telling the mother, say Jesus. And the mother said Jesus. And the child just comes just as what she used to be. She was about 12 years of age. Okay? So when some people don't want to hear about God and prayers and all these sort of things, I think, I don't know if it's demons or what. I'm using the word demons because only that don't want to hear God's name. Okay? Bye. Right.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. That prayer yesterday was powerful, and it troubled the devil. Troubled him. But who God appoints, no man could bring him down. And what I will say, God is still on the throne.
Yes,
let God arise, and the enemy be scattered.
Yes. I want to say this, right? Thanks very much, caller. And Mr. Livide, I want to say this to you. Right? Hold on, caller. Let me just say this to Mr. Livide because you come in and pelt your whatever ball and whatever. I want to say this. As a pastor, it is very difficult. I don't know about nobody else. The other pastors who pray with mask on, they good. They're real good. But for a pastor and anybody who understand what it means to pray and to do what you have to do with a mask on, it is a very difficult thing. It is very, very difficult. So when Mr. Levy, they're calling, and he ain't calling to make sense, He just calling to say some pastors spirit mask on, some spirit mask on. What profit that made to the nation? For your 2 minutes call, what profit that made? What sense that brought? I'd really like to know. Because if I pray without and there is proper social distancing, because in churches, everybody have on their mask and the pastor will take off his mask and preach or pray and put back on his mask and dismiss the service. I looking all over the world. I watching yesterday. I was looking at that church in England. The bishop, he preached, he prayed. All the members have on mask in the church. When he finished, he put back on the mask and they go on. You go up there, you pray, you preach, you do whatever. You take off your mask, you do it when everybody else in the room have it on. If you listen to the directions given by the CMO and the everybody, they tell you that. But you see again, as I said before, Mr. Leave it there and they know that God spoke. And they don't want people to know that God spoke over this nation. And that's why I want to talk. That's one of the things I want to make sure and send home to Trinidad and Tobago. God spoke over this nation, and every media house, most of them ignored it. Dumped to some of the gospel stations. Ignored what God said. Because you know why? It didn't come from your prophet. Or it didn't come from your pastor. Or it didn't come from your religion. So you know what? It just makes it, you wish it don't come to pass. But you know what he didn't prophesy? He didn't prophesy his words. He prophesied words from God. And God said what? He put his word above his name. So it cannot fail. It will not fail. So all Mr. Leave there and them who looking for minor things to talk about, petty things to talk about, but a mask. If a pastor praying with a mask or without a mask, if that more important to you than what God said to Trinidad and Tobago, then leave it there. Only the word justice in this land, boy. God is calling on Dr. Rowley to bring justice in this land. You, Mr. Leaford, if you so hate Dr. Rowley and you don't like the government, that's something you should have point out and say, hey, look, the prophet tell Dr. Rowley to ensure that justice is served. But you will hear that. You know what you hear or what you see is no mask on. You, Mr. Leaford there, and everybody else. God spoke to this nation, and all of you who sit down and vex. It's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm going to play it back. I'm going to play it back to annoy you some more. Before you all call for prayer, that Dr. Rowley really adhere to what the prophet say. You know what they're calling for? A mask. He ain't wearing mask. This one wear mask. That one ain't wear mask. You serious? Well, hear what the prophet of God had to say to the called man of God to this nation. Listen to what he had to say to him. Listen to what God said to this nation yesterday from a man of God.
Good. We give God praise for this opportunity to speak to our nation and to the nations of the earth, and specifically one more time to our Prime Minister. This is what the Lord said to me. I'm giving the nation a homework. to do, read Jeremiah chapter 22 in as many versions as you can. But I have taken it from the Message version to speak today. And it is this. The Lord said to me, go down to the house of the king of Judah, and by the principle of similitude, go down to the diplomatic center and speak to the leader and declare, this is God's message: attend to matters of justice, set things right.
Attend to matters of justice and set things right. We don't hear that. We ain't hear that. The word of the Lord to the Prime Minister of this country, you know, is to attend to the matters of justice. There are some people all over this country talking all up in their mouth and have questions to answer. And the justice is moving too slow. Don't get me vexed here today, you know. Don't get me hot here, you know. The prophet telling the Prime Minister, who called a national day of prayer, the prophet telling him, justice too slow. Too much people who have to answer questions in this country running up the mouth. You call it the talk about he ain't have on a mask and they properly social distancing. Look, leave it there. Listen to what the prophet had to say now.
Between people, rescue victims from their exploiters.
Rescue victims.
Don't take advantage of the homeless, the orphans, the widows.
Rescue victims from the oppressors. There are some people who are oppressing people in this country. Leave it there calling to ask Dr. Rowley to listen to the voice of the prophet. All you listening?
Stop the murderings. Then he said, I will give to you, Mr. Prime Minister, the Joseph mandate in reverse. Whereas Joseph became Prime Minister of Egypt in a time of plenty to prepare for a time of scarcity, you have come into leadership when the nation is in a time of scarcity. But he said this, I shall cause you to lead this nation into a season of unprecedented economic wealth. For you shall lead the nation in such a way that you will lend to others and not borrow. Many leaders shall come to you for counsel on how to bring their nation out of their crisis. For I hear the voices of major investors saying, come, let's go down to Trinidad and Tobago and invest seeds into their economy, for it is yielding high yields on investments. The Lord also says, there shall be a season of unprecedented collaboration between the government and the various opposition parties. Then he also says, I am after the heart of the nation and COVID became the rallying call. I will bring healing, not just to the COVID, but to the contentions within the nation. Then he said this, I wanted to have all the eyes and the minds and the hearts of the nation in one place, reflecting exactly what happened on the day of Pentecost, of which this is a commemoration. In the upper room, they were all together in one place, and the Holy Spirit fell. I decree then, God will heal our land and bless our land. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. All right. Again, calls now. People that want my pressure to go up. My pressure ain't going up, you know. My pressure ain't going up at all. I just don't like people to try to play me for a fool. You ain't hear nothing else what the prophet say. You ain't hear what the prophet say. You only see the prophet in prayer, whoever in prayer with a mask on. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon, mother.
Greetings and blessings to you and your family and to all your listeners, callers here, there, and everywhere. Pastor Google, some people you have to leave them in their own ignorance. Because you remember now, we all are just serving the same God, Jehovah, you know. It's them as some kind of God that tell them COVID, that sunshine will kill COVID. So they're going crazy now because Dr. Rowley is walking in the vacation that he was called. And if the man comes for a doctor, I know it will have people who will come up against it. Because they don't know nothing about unity. They don't want peace. They don't want nothing like that in this way. But we have to pray for Dr. Rowley and his team. Because if Dr. Rowley was not appointed to God, he would need election. He could have known and see that we would have been going through what we're going through right now. And he knows how our people would have perished. If that UNC party would come through that election, Pastor Google, you and I would have dead. Because they would have been waiting on COVID for the sunshine to kill COVID. Come, let's leave the people and tell them, by correct. You understand? And that's a whole lot of people stalling the orders of the PRM with the medical team. It's when they realize that reach home, my they would go be saying that all man start to catch themselves. Now I'm trying to understand that woman who was ranting and raving over the weekend on Facebook and said that Nova people, some people, serious people, they didn't get in COVID. You understand? Well, now I realize, other people understand, the woman, the ignorant woman is trying to say COVID is a PNM virus. It's a PNM virus because at a time it wasn't Carolina at all. It wasn't central. It wasn't all over Trinidad and Tobago. Now that it's in them left, right, and center, they start to come now on Dr. Rowley. But I'm telling all the time, and I tell all the time, touch that the Lord's anointed and do his prophet no harm. If all you go hear, all you go to feel, and all you go to feel the wrath of Almighty God. All let me pray them, man. People all forget all they go with the forehand and the long tail and the long mouth. Forget that, man. And turn unto the hills from whence cometh the help. God, Jehovah, that is the one God. He will see us through. This too shall pass if we will only have ourselves unto the voice of the Lord. The Lord, God, Jehovah is speaking right now. You understand? But it's sad to say, Pastor Google, that the wheat and tears have to go together until the day of harvest. And some of us go to suffer. They say Peter before Paul and Paul before, but I pray for safety for me and my family. Okay, Pastor Google, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That is lost souls, you know. And nothing you do, the press can't bring them back, you know. They have to come and ask God forgiveness for all the idols they've been worshiping. They have to do that. These are people who are dying in ignorance. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, good afternoon. Pastor Google, I did not come to throw no ball, I just told you what I observed.
And sir, that is what has been happening in the churches how long?
But
And not only in the church, but even when Dr. Rowley them doing the press conference. Just like no matter wherever, once there is once the people have on their mind, why did you even call to with him talking that? Why are you doing that?
Why you vexed.
Yes, because you are a big man who could be my father, who I supposed to learn wisdom from. You calling, we talking about what was said to Dr. Rowley. You calling to tell me that they didn't have on mask?
You see, that is why the guy in the police station was actually the police officer. Put on your mask. Put on your mask.
Hey, you're not understanding you're not understanding something, Listen to me. Listen to this, Mr. Leave it there. Yeah, because you're not serious. You're not serious. You really calling to throw off the program as an old man? You're not serious. We're talking about what the prophet said to the prime minister. You still calling to talk about a mask and police station. There was proper social distancing. And even if the moderator had on a mask. Look, Mr. Liveda, you're really calling to derail the program and to throw off what was said. And you're really letting the devil choke you. I will say that. For an old man.
Afternoon, Pastor Google. There's the Punisher here. The voices that I'm hearing today, after such a word to the nation and to our astute Prime Minister, the voices that I'm hearing coming out remind me of the time when the Messiah went down to that place called Gadara and met with the maniac of Gadara down there. You should remember it. You're a pastor. You remember the words that was spoken to the Messiah? Have you come to torment us before our time? That's the voice that I'm hearing right now coming through men like Mr. Leavitt and the others who try to detract the nation from what the Most High is saying to us. Okay, take care and have a good day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Big brother, good afternoon to you and to your listeners. I think I need to say this, right? Most persons hear me call this radio station time after time, and I say it flat without an apology. I am neither a supporter of any party, but let me tell you something. To that caller who went by, it's absolute foolishness you're coming with. I heard those words came out from Apostle's mouth, big brother, and my paws actually raised. You see, we have ourselves divided. Why they are so upset? It's because God has given a black man the mantle to lead this country, and that is why the opposite, which is the UNC, are so upset. My people, God appoints and he disappoints. He puts up and he takes down. And that is the choice God has made. God has given Dr. Rowley that mandate. And if God seemeth fit to put him there for such a time as this, thank God and say thanks to him. And most of all, God has given him spiritual guidance. Ask yourself to the point when the opposition or whoever was in party, ask what sort of guidance did they have. That is the whole thing there. Have a good evening, people.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, Pastor, I finally getting, brother. Pastor, leave it there and them fellas is bad gin. Them is bad gin. Leave it there, the gada from Pinal, well, them is bad gin. And them purpose, tell them talk shows, is to derail, and there's haters too. And you can't get you to haters, you know. The prophet, I enjoy the program with the prophet. One thing I wanna say that even not he missed out is that, you know, Dr. Rowley, he didn't forget the disabled community, right? You know, I try to make that point to someone, and this week I'm going to deal with that because I advocate for everybody to get a portion. Now, Mr. Imber is trying to, you know, the construction workers and the taxi drivers who always advantaging people. The disabled community, the people say they haven't heard anything. The last time they was given a little support. And Pastor Google, thanks for your advocate for the poor and the downtrodden as you have done with the young lady and stuff. I hope that, you know, what Mr. Imber say bring a little peace to our heart. And the disabled community is the poor and the vulnerable in society. And there's a selfish culture when you study myself, right? 3 things a society is judged by: the way you treat your elderly, the disabled community, and the animals, right? And when the country goes into hardship, those people will feel it the most, the disabled community, because people who could have helped them and was there to help them in a little monetary way, they are now feeling, so they get pushed further into the poverty line. So people are what people to think. It's not about people studying the self alone. It's about what I'm asking Colin Imber and Minister Donald Cox. Enlarging the pie. It's the same discrimination taking part with the vaccine in the world today. All the rich countries who order up all the vaccine, the rich white countries, right? And the poor developed countries is suffering. But if you enlarge the pie and you chunk off a little piece that everybody can get a little taste, it'll be beneficial to all. So I'm asking, because I don't live studying for myself, I didn't born on an island by myself, right? It's not about just me and this one and that one. Everybody is in a predicament. And as I said, as I said, Pastor, I listened to the prophet yesterday. And as I'm saying to end here, Minister Imber, the disabled committee, said that they didn't hear anything. And Minister Donald Cox, in what way they'll be given assistance like the last time when there was assistance. And as I say, the Gadaha, Penal, and this next Bajin, as Indian father does call them, Bajin, only come around just to you know, wild up people and get people angry. But it's Bajin, that's what it is. The surfacing and they're all over the place. And let's ask him on behalf of the disabled community, right, to some good news to come their way, and it shouldn't be forgotten.
All right.
Pastor, enjoy. Stay calm, brother.
Yeah, man. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google.
Good afternoon.
The devil on the run. The Holy Spirit is in control now. The Holy Spirit is in control. The devil don't like prayer. They get all like they're confused now. The devil is confused. You're going to get more and more prayer, man.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. Pastor Google, what is noticeable is that yesterday, a day of prayer that Trinidad and Tobago had, it was a sober, sombering moment when everybody were there and people were just reflecting on whatever spiritual, you know, aspiration that you have. Everybody is different. So like the Mahasaba, the Baptists, the Pentecostals, the Muslims, you name it. All these religious groups came representing the people that they represent to their spiritual leader. Pastor Google, have you seen anybody from the UNC there to or give a word or send a speech for somebody to think? Have you seen or heard anything from the UNC? Even the president, the prime minister, and the opposition was on no show. Pastor Google, it then turned to me that when Miss Kamala said if she loses, there will be blood on the streets. I start thinking.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Google.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Google, no, I am not being biased with nothing. What the man said, the man was right. You all are right. Because if he said he didn't have no mass is something, mass is a protocol.
Wait, just now. Wait, could you wait a minute, please? I'm not talking. All right, I'm not talking about that. Right, I don't want to talk. I'm not talking about that, Mr.
Okay,
Wait, just now.
Forget us for the while.
Right, no, not for the while. Forgetting that because Mr. Leave there, I wasn't talking that. I spoke to the apostle. No, I just need to let you know, sir. I need to let you know. I spoke to the apostle who would have brought the prophecy to the Prime Minister. I spoke with him live on the radio just a while ago. He spoke and he told us how he was led to bring forth that word to the Prime Minister. And I went for the news, and I came back and I am open up the line so that we can talk about what the prophet would have said. I don't know why and Mr. David came in with his foolishness, and I don't want to have that discussion.
All right, okay. But what I'm saying, action speaks louder than words. Why now the man come with this prophecy?
Because wait. No, I ain't going through that. Sorry. Well, they might find me to be ignorant, upset, whatever. You see that he coming with it, and I'll call other programs and talk that. Don't talk that here. I'm not questioning God and why God tell he when to do it. You go on our next program and ask why God sent he then to do that. What nonsense you coming with now? But why now he coming with that prophecy? Have you ever followed that man of God? Have you ever listened to that? That's not the first time that man of God spoke over this land. You talking about why now? Will they really come to do what by? You questioning why now? It's not the first time. Are we serious? Trinidad and Tobago? The Prime Minister had a national day of prayer. The man was asked to come and pray. He came with a word from God. You asking why now? You thinking what you saying, brother? You coming to foolishness with living there. I shut you down. No, you want to come with that next nonsense? And I'm supposed to sit here and allow you to question God? Or question the man of God not here, so I can't answer that question. Let me put it there. I've learned in media from my boss that when whoever you want to question, if they're not here, leave it there, as they would say. What level of, are we serious? And you didn't hear, you know why I want to say this too. The man of God was on the radio and he gave how he came up with that word. I'll come back after this.
My journey got alone with me. Okay, watch it. I want them by them promoting. We're fed up by the gun thing. Now know what they want. Not ready for the Shelley's. Money say, watch your friend in her. They can be fed up by them friend killer. Why can we just live like brother? Let's love one another. Make the old place better. So we know what I'm all them leader. Make the bike come out of peer pressure. Everybody wanna be a sasa. I don't know what this. Them who are press. When the big chain and white vest. Them put mama in stress. When maniac match out and leave one day. Prince Money to land. Give us no bad.
Talk to them.
My journey got alone with me. Okay. I want them by them promoting. We're fed up by the gun thing. Now know what I want. Not ready for the Shelley's. One he say, watch your friend in her. Because me fed up by them friend killer. Why can we just live like brother? Let's love one another. Make the old place better. So we know when I'm a young leader. Make the bike come out of peer pressure. But everybody wanna be a sasa. You know access. Them want press. When the big chain and white vest. Them put mama in stress. When maniac match out and leave one night. Prince Wally Gelano. Lumpe was Movado. Telling maniac. Beyond and Gagey. Listen while me tell you. We need more love in the ghetto. Sing some positive tune and set them ghetto rules. Baby, need a gunman down. We don't need no gunman sound. No. So what your friends so you're linking with? But they will need to do your casket. And when some talk to them by them, tell them this positive music. Tell them gunman slow them roll. Tell them take it easy. The rise of the murder toll. We're fed up of printing jersey. I love it, make the old days better. So we know what a man young neither. Make them buy come out of peer pressure. Why everybody wanna be a dancer? And you know I just, them who I press. On the big chain, white flesh. Them put on my interest. When the maniac march up and leave one lifeless. Don't pray what's my battle. Telling maniac, Beyond and KG. Listen what I tell you. We need more love in the ghetto. Sing some positive tune and set them ghetto youths. Living in a gunman town. In a gunman town. We don't need no gunman sound. No, no. Living in a gunman town. We don't need no gunman sound. No. So let me sing about love. And let me sing about peace. Too much blood running on the streets, yeah. Let me sing about love. Let me sing about peace. Too much blood running on the street. Forget about the gun, well down like a punching. With the big lock rubber handle. Let them buy them, live up them dream. Forget about the AR-15. Bam bam, brother, brother. My journey got a lot of work with me.
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday at 9:05 to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
More to love.
Land Capital Certificates is a passive income service company located at Princess Margaret Street in San Fernando and 5th Street South Woodbrook. At Land Capital, investing is made simple. You invest with us. We make the investments and then you collect returns either monthly or yearly. We have 5 different options you can choose from, and each investment option comes with different benefits starting from TT $5,000. For more information, contact 399-0307. Land Capital Certificates. It's all about you.
Welcome to Dr. Love Rebirth Center for Herbal Solution. Users of our Silver King branded product claim it's working for them. High definition eye drops dissolves cataract without surgery or peeling. Double barrel combination of L-arginine and L-citrine, heart and artery cleaner, testosterone builder, hydrolyzed collagen for joint, colloidal silver immune system builder, Goles for leaky bladder, cold pressed avocado oil, beetroot energy supplement, ozonated olive oil gel, the ultimate antibiotic, flashback for stress, move free for stiff joint, garlic extract, provision for memory loss, black seed oil, prostate protocol, and coffee enema kits now available. Contact Dr. Love at PTSD Terminal Mall, Huese San Juan, Twin City Mall, San Fernando, and Pinar. Call us on 366-4058 or 478-9222. Check us out on WhatsApp, Facebook, and our website, www.drloverc.com.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in San Luis Grande is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guests on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Sundays, Ministry of Worship Children's Hour and the Word from 1 to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Wednesdays, we deal with current affairs from a biblical perspective from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Facebook, email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
At Health and Wealth Lifestyle, we offer a wide range of services: blood analysis, iridology, acupuncture, foot detox, foot massages, gua sha, hot stone therapy, fire therapy, legs and feet massage therapy, mineral scrubs, acrotherapy, cupping.
We also have a wide variety of supplements: silver, zinc and magnesium, body light, and lots more.
We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle operate our business in a clean, safe, and comfortable environment. We frequently sanitize our compound and abide by all the COVID guidelines that are currently in place.
So come on down to Health and Wealth Lifestyle, where we treat you like family. Book your appointment today. Call us at 1-868-275-8359
or 1-868-288-1108.
And remember, your health is your wealth, and prevention is always better than medication.
Hey guys, it's Aisha Wells here. Listen up. If you're considering selling or renting your house in Trinidad and Tobago, then call Keelan George with O'Neill's Real Estate Group. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in the business for over 6 years. First, selling real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, and now right here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a strategic online marketing presence that actually attracts thousands of home buyers and renters. Plus, with his home selling advice and techniques, he's getting homes sold really fast. Keelan will actually guarantee you sell your home, or get this, you can cancel the listing agreement and pay nothing at any time. That's right, you heard me, nothing at any time. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, people. Check out www.o'neillrealestatetT.com. O'Neill is spelled O-N-E-I-L, or just call Keelan direct at 363-4030. That's 363-4030.
Now there's a new way to pay your electricity bill.
Quick pay your bills today. Quick pay, it's a whole new way. Online, pay your bill one time. Yes, there is a whole new way to quick pay for your electricity. Yes, they made it easy. Just enter your account number, 4 clicks and it's over.
Introducing Quick Pay, a new service from the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission that lets you pay your bill online with your credit or Visa debit chip card. Just enter the account number and contact information. Click Pay and you're done.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Good. We give God praise for this opportunity to speak to our nation and to the nations of the earth and specifically one more time to our Prime Minister. This is what the Lord said to me. I'm giving the nation a homework to do. Read Jeremiah chapter 22 in as many versions as you can. But I have taken it from the Message version to speak today. And it is this. The Lord said to me, go down to the house of the king of Judah, and by the principle of similitude, go down to the diplomatic center and speak to the leader and declare, this is God's message: attend to matters of justice, set things right between people, rescue victims from their exploiters. Don't take advantage of the homeless, the orphans, the widows. Stop the murderings. Then he said, I will give to you, Mr. Prime Minister, the Joseph mandate in reverse. Whereas Joseph became Prime Minister of Egypt in a time of plenty to prepare for a time of scarcity, you have come into leadership when the nation is in a time of scarcity. But he said this: I shall cause you to lead this nation into a season of unprecedented economic wealth. For you shall lead the nation in such a way that you will lend to others and not borrow. Many leaders shall come to you for counsel on how to bring their nation out of their crisis. For I hear the voices of major investors saying, come, let's go down to Trinidad and Tobago and invest seeds into the economy, for it is yielding high yields on investments. The Lord also says, there shall be a season of unprecedented collaboration between the government and the various opposition parties. Then he also says, I am after the heart of the nation, and COVID became the rallying call. I will bring healing, not just to the COVID, but to the contentions within the nation. Then he said this: I wanted to have all the eyes and the minds and the hearts of the nation in one place, reflecting exactly what happened on the day of Pentecost, of which this is a commemoration. In the upper room, they were all together in one place, and the Holy Spirit fell. I decree then, God will heal our land and bless our land. Thank you.
All right, I'm back with you, Trinidad and Tobago. I am back with you, Trinidad and Tobago. There is a big contention, you know. There is a big contention. One
used to love, yeah. Oh, with a strength in me heart, we rise above, yeah.
So would come out, don't get upset. The devil will turn up. Pastor, special afternoon. I know, we know God is speaking. So these people would come out, don't get upset. The devil will turn up. And I just always ask God to expose them. So that's what God doing this afternoon on your program, exposing them. It was back in the Kingsley, up to now you're here, Kingsley. Expose them, Lord, expose them. Let Trinidad and Tobago see who they are, what they stand for. I just ask God for that in my prayer. Expose them. Pastor Google, locked on and listening to.
Big brother, good afternoon again. Mr. Leave It There, I need to let you know this, my brother. This is not the first time that man of God has spoken over this country and his words came to pass. Mind you, he is a man of God that I follow every time. And I'm going to tell you this, be very careful and mindful how you view the servants of God. Be very careful.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I listening to people, and see the person I have to say. At the last caller said that.
Now, Andrew, you had to call me back. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon, sir.
I speak from a clear mind. I'm not taking no side. Pastor Google, I want to thank and compliment the Prime Minister for that initiative, that program he kept yesterday. That was very edifying and educating to many of us. To most of us, I should say. It was well organized. I see people of different denominations, and it was really, really, really nice. I want to thank you for replaying this, what the gentleman said, what you say, the bishop, or who said it? Yeah. But you know something, Pastor Google, you must understand that some people is wise and some is otherwise. And Mr. Leave It There, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, and I feel some people go vex with me. I don't see nothing wrong with what Mr. Leave It There said. Is his observation, like many of us, if I was him, I would not make that contribution. But it was the fact that, you know, a number of people that pray wasn't praying the mass while some was praying the mass. I would not make a contribution like that. I think that don't let people carry you up the hill. You know, when you're driving, you look in your windscreen more than looking in your rearview mirror, because it's forward you're going, and you will find, as a radio talk show host, there will be tests. Without a test, you can't give a testimony. There will be challenges, but you know, you must let some pass by. Educate him and move on, because, as I say, it's just his opinion.
Yeah, but I wasn't talking, just no caller. I wasn't talking about that. Listen to this. Listen to me carefully, yeah? While I hear you, I hear your advice, but I want you to listen to this. Yeah. Anybody who listens to me on radio understands that I try to move that kind of program and format. So I play the Prime Minister. Wait, I play the Prime Minister reading from the Constitution and what led him to do the National Day of Prayer. And I play the Prime Minister reading his scriptures. And then I said that there was a man of God who brought a word to the Prime Minister. All right? Yeah. And I dealt with, I never came here to talk about who was praying with mask and who wasn't praying with mask. If Mr. Leave It There wanted to talk that, so there are wait, just now. If Mr. Leave It There wanted to talk that, he could go on other programs that allot him to that gives people the leeway to just talk wherever they want to talk. I went at lengths to get the man, the bishop, the apostle, who would have spoken to the Prime Minister directly. I had him on the phone explaining to Trinidad and Tobago how he got that word and how he got the invitation to deliver that word to the Prime. How the hell mass come in that?
Yes, and I do understand.
And that's why I don't want to talk about that, because that is taking up too much time on something that is unnecessary for a big man. Go on other programs and talk that. Don't come here and talk that.
Yeah. I said it was me. I want to make a contribution like that, but I understand. That's just his opinion. You know what bothers me more? Pastor Google? I heard a gentleman said, I don't know, big strong man get the COVID and they die. I don't know how Dr. Rowley come out from that.
And again, I'm not even talking that, sir. I'm talking about what I just played when I came back into my program. Yes. I'm talking about what the prophet said to the Prime Minister. He said to him about justice. He said to him about taking care of the widows, the fatherless. Why are we talking about what other people talk? I'm not talking them thing. I want to stay focused. A message came to our Prime Minister. We're not even focusing on that. We're focusing on other things.
Yes. That message that the prophet brings is very intelligent and very wise, and it is something that we should look at and learn from, because that is what it is. That is what it is.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Locked on and listening.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Mr. Google, I apologize for saying the right thing in a wrong way. Right? But what I was saying, things was happening, and we see in front of our eyes from then till now, and people coming and saying that just said it the Lord, and the Lord sent a message and saying, man, this is a just thing. You understand? When it's dealing with the Lord is opening your eyes from jump start to see everything that is going on. You understand?
All right, thanks. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, you're not there. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google. Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
Blessing to you, Mr. Pastor Google. Pastor Google, when you can't cope with the wicked and them, God is we hope. So don't let them confuse you. And don't make them take over your program. God's going to bless you. God's going to bless you. God's going to bless you. Don't let them come on and need the spirit, Pastor Google. You're strong. You're able with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor, you know I missed the pastor yesterday. I understand the message and the point you're trying to drill home. The focus is on the message, right? That Dr. Rowley have a task, and people have to understand that they could dislike him. They could say what they want. Could dislike him because we know of his complexion, his race. This his time. He was appointed here for a reason. In this time, and I believe that a storm will come. After the drought here, a storm will come. Because I live in hope and I see things, and better days are coming. We will get through this. This is Dr. Rowley time. And all them bargains and them who want to come out of the hole. You see, where you play there, going to provoke a lot of them spirits, and they don't see it. You don't understand, Pastor. You are at a different level. When you're carnal, you don't understand these fellas carnal. Education and let us say name don't bring consciousness and spirituality. All of these people carnal. So they can't understand what the bishop try, what the message he put across. You know, tell Dr. Rowley, take care of the poor, the downtrodden, the disabled. Right? I see Minister Donacock saying about the homeless. They're going to get vaccinated. The disabled. Nobody is, as Dr. Rowley keeps saying in all of his speeches, he don't want to leave anybody behind. So what is happening to these bargains and them? That message provoking them and choking them. So all I could tell them, get the end, Satan.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, you was surprised yesterday morning. I heard a pastor on that radio said the day of praise abomination to the country.
Okay, thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
You know what I gathered from that pastor? Because I heard that, I just came in and hear you play that clip a while ago. But I heard a man call and ask, why no? What does he call back? But I realized you got vexed with Mr. Leave it there. So let me tell you what, and this is the first time I haven't heard the Prime Minister yet. This is the first time I heard this pastor. So let me tell you my vision, what I saw. I saw oil price going up. That is my vision from the pastor, Pastor Google.
Mm-hmm.
I saw oil price going up. I saw petrochem being able to restart by the state. You know what, Pastor? Because if oil price go up, and here we're going on right now, we're getting more oil. Is Ruby Field or whatever they call it out there, that they just discovered? The man is telling us that we are capable, because here we're going on. If that is the case, people flying all around the world and they still coming to Tobago to see land and sea, right? Although we miss out on sandals. But here we're going on, they're fed up in England, they lock up. They're fed up drive around Europe. So they want to come and get the same sun that will kill COVID. They come in to get that. So Tobago is going to boom economically, right? So therefore we could get new sandals. These are the vision I see from this thing. What did you see, Pastor? What did you gather from what our man said? So that tells me, because the Minister of Finance, just a while ago before this thing, was telling us he was seeing the end of the tunnel. Not so? And I tell people, once things start moving, we have one of the most precious commodities still, oil and gas. So sit down and wait, and I keep telling them that. What our prophecy is exactly what it is. If you sit down and watch the vision, oil and gas, the Europeans are moving around, and just now they're going to fed up. So they have to come some way. And the only place to come is the Caribbean. And if we could sell the Caribbean gas and oil, we're good to go. Petrochem, let's act together. Pastor Google, enjoy your day.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor.
Hi, good afternoon.
Pastor, I'm very impressed with you, and a lot of people are very impressed about you, but do not let those characters come to the radio program, because that is what you insist on them to do, to the radio program. You are very intelligent. That is why you see they can't do that with Sharon. Cut them off when you see they start with that stupidness. Thank you, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
I don't know if you also listen to Prophet Derek Mason. And he has also given a prophetic word since last year. And this, what Pastor Duncan has done yesterday, is confirmation of what Prophet Derek Mason has been saying. I listen to him every Tuesday morning and Saturday morning. And 2020, he gave a similar word where we will be coming back into, where the Prime Minister will be coming back into getting this country back on its feet, where God has given him this window of opportunity. And what Pastor Duncan said yesterday gives me confirmation that things going to be all right. Let them just follow the Lord's guidance. That's all we are asking.
And mom, to me, and that is what you see. That's why you see what you said there about let them. That is all I want people to call in and say, hey, listen to what is being said. Justice on time. See about the widow, the fatherless. Come on, and encourage the Prime Minister to take heed to the word.
To the word. Take heed to the word. And taking heed meaning gather his truth.
Come on. Mom, there are people who talking. There are people who talking to this nation who should not be talking to us.
Say it again.
It are people on social media spewing their hate. And all we have to do is just sit down and laugh and say, yes, we see them for who they are and whatever. Foolishness. It's time for swift justice.
Follow the word. Just Pastor of Google, all Dr. Rowley has to do is stay focused. Forget the detractors. Go along the path because he is God's chosen one. we come like the children of the Israelites, you know. He is leading us out of Egypt, you know. He is
boy.
focused. Have a good evening, Pastor.
Thank you very much, Mom. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon.
How you going? Pastor Google, listen, man. I listen to what it is I hear. And I want to know, how do we expect people to change or to have that same conversation what you're having here about trying to help Dr. Rowley to stay on that path, to keep the country in the right path, when it has some people don't believe prayers does help. And pushing that narrative, that prayers, so if you don't believe prayers can help, then how could you believe the word of God? Because prayer is a communication between man and God. So if you don't believe in prayer, that means you don't believe in God. So how can you believe in a word from God? And you see, that is the real problem.
But here what I'm saying to you. Even if that is the problem, and you're calling in with that problem, fair enough, you know. Fair enough. But don't call in to talk about some wearing mask, some wearing mask, which is nothing I'm talking about.
No,
That's what I'm talking, and that's what I'm talking about. Listen to this. Listen to what I'm saying to you. If you're coming to say, I don't accept what that man say, and whatever, that is your right.
Yeah,
but don't come to tell me, don't come to talk about what an 11-year-old will tell me.
Yes.
My 11-year-old son will not even talk that garbage.
Yep. I understand that. But as I say, from what I am seeing, one of the problems, the biggest problem that Dr. Rowley has, is the people that don't believe in God, so they cannot believe in the word from God.
That's not a problem, man. All nations have that. Don't when God is operating in the nation of Israel, there were people who were there. They were doubting Thomas was part of the 11.
Yeah.
So they'll always have that. That is not an issue.
Sure.
That's not an issue. I'm telling you, that's not an issue. The issue is when people don't want the word to go forth.
But that's our next thing. That we have to try to fight.
And that I don't mind that fight. I don't mind that fight. You see that fight? I could take up that fight. I will play it every day to annoy you.
Yeah, that's the fight we really have to fight.
That's the fight I will fight. To make sure that the word go forth. But don't tell me, don't come to the really program about a mask. We preaching in church since the pandemic, and we were told that we could remove our mask once our members have on their mask.
Yep.
Anybody who goes to our church could tell you that we're leaving there come with that nonsense to try and derail the program.
Yeah. But people have to realize that know themselves and try to find out the truth. Because no matter how much you try and try them, it's up to them to decide to listen to the truth.
All right. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you today?
I am blessed, man.
Nice to hear. I just, you see, right about now, I just want to thank Almighty God for using the apostle.
Talk to me.
You know, if people take the time to meditate on what the apostle said.
Hey, come with it now, man. And let me tell you something. Let me talk now. Let me talk. First to begin it, he didn't come with no nicer words, you know. If we really listen to what the apostle said, what the prophet said, we had to get our house in order as a nation, you know.
Exactly.
We want the blessing. We want the investors. We want this. We want that. But you know, you hear what the word of the Lord said to us first? Hey, deal with the unjust. Exactly. Deal with the people who don't want to give their workers the proper wages. Deal with the people, deal with the homeless, the fatherless, the widows.
Yes.
Deal with justice.
Yes. You need to clean up. And that is the word, you know. That is the word. If people just focus on the word and meditate on what he said, instead of looking for all these little petty things, and that's our issue. We are being forewarned. We're getting the message. You understand? But we want to shoot down the messenger.
focus on the message. You understand what I'm saying, Pastor Google? That's all. Take our time and meditate on what he said. I really want to bless. You see, today, I want to worship God in the beauty of holiness for using the apostle. That's what I want to do. You know, and I pray that God will continue to use him.
Yes.
In the way that he's using him. There will always be the naysayers. There will, as you said, there will be doubting Thomas. You understand? But I know the God I serve. I know he works in mysterious ways. You understand? And he uses people. What now? God has put specific people in your life for specific reasons.
You know, he could have gone there and prayed like everybody else.
And pray as normal.
But God tell him, hey, I give you a word.
Pastor, you know what I admire the apostle for? His obedience.
Yes.
His obedience, because obedience is heaven's first law.
Here now, let me tell you something now. When I hear him start, right? I telling my wife, I say, this man rebuking the nation, you know. Just like I say, but this man rebuking us. Hear what this man saying. And then when he finish, say what, and then he come and he said, hear what? But the Lord is saying that and then I say, you see, if we do this, we will get blessings here.
Exactly, and that's what it is.
So nobody in here that
we want to get out of this. We say we want to get out of it, and this too shall pass. But what are we doing? God helps those that help themselves. And we got to do, if you make 2 steps, you will make 10 towards you. We just can't sit there and say this too shall pass. We have to set things in the right place and put things in the right place and do what is right. And people not getting that.
No, they're not.
Pastor Google, I want to bless God for the apostle. Apostle, I want to thank you. I want to thank God for using you. Pastor Google, I want to bless God for you. I'm an ardent listener. I listen to every program on this station. I may not call in. I listen to the naysayers. I listen to all contributions. But I said I had to call at this point in time. So you have a blessed day, Pastor Google.
Yeah, man. Thanks very much. Thanks very, very much. And that's what I'm talking about, you know. That's all I'm talking about. All right. Thanks very much, caller. Trinidad and Tobago. This nation not easy, you know. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Pastor Google. That apostle, what he said yesterday, I think we should have it said every day. You have your program, I wouldn't tell you how to manage it, but constant repetition of anything, we are going to learn from it and remember. It was such a great idea and how he put it over to us. And I also congratulated the Prime Minister for reading the first paragraph in the Constitution for us to hear, because I am not in a position to get the Constitution to read. And there are some people who has to read it, and I don't think they know it. Also, I would say all the naysayers, I want them to learn the Lord's Prayer. I hope they know what is the Lord's Prayer. Psalms 23 and 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Those are things that I learned when I was 13 years of age. Okay? And when they go to put the first sip of water in their mouth when the day comes, let us thank the Lord for being alive and for him to bring us into this world, and thank him for that sip of water. Okay? Because he who provided everything. So when they don't know how to pray or doing anything or whatever it is, they better thank him and go to him through his son, Jesus Christ. Okay? Thank him for everything. You wake up, thank him. I am going out in the road in the morning. In the night, I tell the Lord that I'm going out, and if he could guide and protect me and bring me back home. I went out this morning, everything went smoothly, and I came back home on time. Okay, do my shopping and came back. So prayers is very good. Okay? And who don't know it, I mean, maybe Pastor had to tell them. They thank the Lord, then they tell him what happened, and then ask him for whatever it is. Don't ask for money where you know it's $1,000 to sit on one place or nothing. Ask him to give you a job, to get money to feed your children. Okay, I'll go on and on, but I know this is not my program, it's your program. But I think they need to learn about prayers, and those prayers don't help. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Mother, thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Pastor Google, and you just wonder why they just call you the PNM pastor. You mixing up your politics and your religion. You need to separate them. You using this issue with this apostle or whatever to promote Dr. Rowley politically. That is what you're doing on this program.
Thank you. And that's what I want. I don't mind you calling and say that. That's good. That's the freedom you have to do. But don't come to change it up, to talk about mask. Hello, good afternoon. I like that. Central come good day.
Let me say, no, just remind me, poor people put money in a bank. But the only time you see that money is when a rich person borrows and build a building. You understand? These is words are being said. These are things are being want to be done from jumpstart. I was telling you. You understand? But you know, people holding back who's supposed to address the wrong. You understand? Now they come in and saying it about God said it. God, this is the way of God. This is the thing supposed to be happening a long time. And they're just holding back. You understand? Why they was holding back all the time? Why is now they coming to say that? God say that. You understand? This is the right thing, the ways of God. That's supposed to be being addressed from jump start. But they now come in, but God said here as a messenger to say this. Come on, man. We big people. We see, let me just see us as God now. And the ways
all right,
of God.
well, you go ahead and you guys see us, man. Very good. Nicely. That's good. All right, let me take this other one. Hello, good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon.
It's just hard to cook against the prick.
Yeah.
You just say that. It's just hard. Did you ever run it wrong, you know?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Uh-huh.
I have to say something. I hear the man calling and say use the PLM pastor because you're mixing up your religion and your politics.
That's all right.
No, but them should be the last people to say that because as I said this morning.
Pastor Coffee wasn't mixing up here.
When you go, no, but
The Muslims and them who had Miss Bistessa in Sawa, they wasn't mixing up their own. I am the only person who mixing up minds. And here what I mixing up minds with, right? I mixing up minds with saying that a prophet telling the prime minister that we need swift justice is mixing up my politics. We need to take care of the poor. We need to take care of the widow, the fatherless. That is mixing up my politics.
Yeah.
That's all right. I don't mind mixing up my politics. Let's stand up for that.
You know why he's saying that? Because we are saying it too. The present leader. You understand? And the problem with the present leader is because he's black. I don't care what people call vex for how they want. That is the problem. That is the problem. He's black. Right? And because them should be the last, because as I called them and I tell them this morning, you go to a Ramayana, they promoting Kamala and Rowdy Band. You go to a wedding, they promote Kamala somewhere in the press and Rowdy Band. You go to a funeral, they promoting Kamala and Rowdy Band.
Wait. You go to but you go to certain churches. You go to certain churches and this
different church. Right? But what I am saying here is that you cannot accuse somebody for doing something that when you're living in a grass house, you can't peel big stone by.
Yeah, them love to peel big stone.
You understand? And you're accusing somebody what it is you're not doing. You are calling out on the right thing and addressing it to the Prime Minister because he's the leader at this time. And unlike what it is they want to believe, the opposition leader cannot negotiate anything for this country because he's not the leader of the country. And they could shadow all they want because they really have to be shadow Prime Minister and shadow this one because shadow is a darkness. And that is all they could bring to this land, darkness, because they have no light to shine on the country.
it because that is evilness. That is all they could bring to this country. Evil wishing and evil deeds. And trying to send people to do wrong things so that you can have this result that we have here. It's a direct result of all the stupidness that they were promoting and pushing. All they don't want to wear masks, all they don't want to behave, all they don't want to do this. That is what they were doing all the time. So let them stay in the darkness. Pastor Gogo, you keep preaching light, brother. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. All right. I think I have another caller holding. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pastor Google.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, no. If it was not man of God that brought that message to the Prime Minister, I would have sworn it could have been a mission impossible.
Yeah.
But you understand?
I understand, yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, man.
Yeah? but it's a man of God that gives him the mandate.
Yes.
Straight from God. I know what happened. Whoa. Watch the mission this man get. Joseph got it in prosperity.
Yeah.
Yes, you would better?
Yeah.
Yes. Joseph got that in prosperity.
Yeah.
But he got a mandate to lead without anything.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
And God knows why he chose a man like him at a time like now. Because God read the reins of men's heart. And he know that he's the man for the job. And I know, when I heard that yesterday, and the way other man declared that, I know God is in control.
Yeah,
I know
man.
God is on top of things in this land.
Yeah, man.
And everything will be fulfilled as he says. God bless.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Pastor Google. Pastor Google, Central calling and he said that's a good thing, you know. It means that Satan aims on them listening. So Satan have a lot of aims around. They're promoting his work. Because I could also tell him that the Mahasabha is a normal thing. The Mahasabha always has been promoting the ideology and everything about the UNC. But I could also tell that guy from Shogunas that before the Mahasabha leader there, Tatmaraj, said what he said, Kamala, pay back there for you, Pastor. Pay back for you. You're up and down saying the what? And what kind of nonsense you're doing? Now you're thinking this, freeing up the Hindu vote. To vote for who they want to. Then vote for things. Pay that for your partner today, and you telling you about thing. I mean, all you're about is right and wrong. I have never heard you, Pastor Google, promoted the PNM party on something that they do wrong. Never heard you do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Pastor Bro, I want the public and everybody to know God's love is extended to the so-called good and the so-called bad, and He provides for everybody. No man is perfect. Locked on and listening.
Thank you very much.
Pastor Google, good afternoon. You know, it have a set of devil children running around in Trinidad and Tobago. I listened to that prayer that they had yesterday, and I was surprised to see the UNC had a conference on that day talking a set of politics when the country is in so much of pain. These people, I don't know what's wrong with them. They're trying to break down something flat to the ground, gain power and try to build it over and disrupt the whole world. People, it's about destruction coming after the COVID, you know. And that destruction is for those UNC people and all their followers. Those are the devil children that messing up Trinidad and Tobago. Mark my word, what's the destruction with these people coming down the pike? Good afternoon.
All right. Mr. Central, I want to play something before I leave. You know, but I want to leave it for tomorrow, please God. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Hey, what going on? You come to bowl the last ball there?
Boy, I rock back whole morning listening to you, yeah?
You was either laugh at me.
And sometimes I just get vexed when, oh my gosh, sometimes I just leave him too long. But everybody have a part to play.
Everybody have a part to play.
You know, and I want to say, the day of prayer, as I told John Benoit yesterday, I know prayer works. I know prayer changes things. And, you know, I thank God and I pray God because when Moses went to Pharaoh, God hardened Pharaoh's heart. He couldn't hear. But I believe Dr. Rowley will listen.
And that's what we need to pray for. We need to pray that he listen.
I believe Dr. Rowley will listen because I know the God I serve, I believe it's the same God he serves.
All right.
I believe in God the Father Almighty, creator
of heaven and earth.
You know, and I believe in Jesus Christ. They could say what they want, they could do what? The only Son of our Lord.
Yep.
And this evening, I want to tell people, my daughter-in-law lost 2 nephews last week from COVID-19. One was 32 and one was 30. The mother have 2 children to bury. They still, the funeral home has to go now because funeral home overburdened. You understand? So for who believe that COVID-19 is real, it's still when it reach home. You know what morning is that last week? I have Dr. Munilal on 5 telling the people now, take any vaccine you get because it's crisis. This was the man what was saying, don't take it. But he was telling them, what morning is that? Take any vaccine that come right now because the situation bad. Because they believe that COVID was only for the Negro. And I know some of them playing the fool. I just talk to my young people in this area too. When I see them passing, I say yes. So to wear the mask. The mask is not under your chin. Wear your mask. But you know, they just call me Auntie Nita. They might say she again. So if they have to put it when they pass it by me, it's all right. But I want to let them know it's real. This boy working in a factory, the owner of the factory knew there was an outbreak, did not tell them nothing. He accustomed passing by his mother. He lives a different area. He passed by his mother, the mother got COVID. The father got COVID. COVID-19. The father was hospitalized. The brother that was home was hospitalized. While the father is hospitalized, the brother died in the hospital. So they had to have doctors there to let the father know the brother died. And when he come out, 2 days after, another son died, that son that was working in the factory. They must have it a criminal offense if a organization or a factory know that there is outbreak. And because they want to save money, keep the workers working and not send them home on quarantine, it must be a criminal offense. Point is overflow. The 2 hospitals is overflow. I am employing this evening. Right? I'm employing this evening. You know what I think about, as I say, it's human beings, it's people. They have to, because the new hospital might have ICU and whatever. So the 2 hospitals is taken over. The health center is open up to 8 o'clock in the night. What about a woman that had to have baby 2 days coming and labor come now? Could that person reach Superior or San Fernando? So I am asking the government and my MP, the Petrotrin had a nice medical place there. There were other buildings that is in Point Fund there. There were a health center in Chatham or somewhere. Make some way an emergency delivery center. Make some way. I have no problem. Some people is very up in arms, but I say it's a humanitarian thing. And that happened. But put things in place because the health center opens from 8 to 8. So then last night, somebody had to carry somebody quite superior because they got a bad cut in the hand. So we are in dire strait because of hardness, because of the young people not listening, the old people not going nowhere, and you're carrying it home for them. I tell them, no, none of my grandchildren come and step out of the mask. I'm allergic to COVID-19. Come up with your mask. I have the sanitizer and I have everything else, and that is what we have to do. Stand up for them. Have a nice evening.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Trinidad and Tobago. So here we have here is where I leave it. All right, and I'm leaving it. Leaving you with this. All right, I'm leaving you with this. I have to leave it there, as did I say. I have to leave it there, but I'm leaving you with this. All right, Trinidad and Tobago, I'm leaving you with this. Have a blessed afternoon. Take care. Please social distance, sanitize, and you know what I mean. Wear your mask properly.
Good. We give God praise for this opportunity to speak to our nation and to the nations of the earth, and specifically one more time to our Prime Minister. This is what the Lord said to me. I'm giving the nation a homework to do. Read Jeremiah chapter 22 in as many versions as you can. But I have taken it from the Message version to speak today. And it is this. The Lord said to me, go down to the house of the King of Judah, and by the principle of similitude, go down to the diplomatic center and speak to the leader and declare, this is God's message: attend to matters of justice, set things right between people, rescue victims from their exploiters. Don't take advantage of the homeless, the orphans, the widows. Stop the murderings. Then he said, I will give to you, Mr. Prime Minister, the Joseph mandate in reverse. Whereas Joseph became Prime Minister of Egypt in a time of plenty to prepare for a time of scarcity, you have come into leadership when the nation is in a time of scarcity. But he said this: I shall cause you to lead this nation into a season of unprecedented economic wealth. For you shall lead the nation in such a way that you will lend to others and not borrow.
I will sing of the goodness of God. What is your name? Jesus.